Hey, what's up guys, Galaxier here. Just going to go over the fittings that we have for the Tier 5 Frigate Abyss Nergal team. If you do find yourself enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And also let me know your thoughts on what you think of the Frigate Abyss down in the comments below. So as you can see, I've got a couple Nergals here. So this one here I use for tier 4s. Tier 4s and tier 5s are different fits completely. So the tier 4, I'll just open this up now. So I've got the abyssal workers chat. Right, yeah, so the tier 4 consists of your standard gun, a remote rep, cat battery, afterburner, web, C-type enam, A-type armor repper, Shadow Serpentis ADC, and abyssal radiation sink, which has got, if I remember correctly, yeah, it's got quite not a bad roll on it. Not bad. It's not the worst. It's not the best. It's not the worst. Now we have 3 of these running, and we remote rep each other as well as having our armor repper going. So tier 4s are absolutely no issue whatsoever in tanking them. All you have to do, keep an eye out for, is newts and heavy webs and newts, because that can really knock your transversal and increase the amount of damage that you're taking. Now we do firestorms. I know it does give the NPCs a bonus to their armor as well, but we are also dealing the thermal damage, which is key. We are also doing explosive damage, but main damage output is thermal damage, which the NPCs get quite a nerf to their thermal resistances. Now the main thing to keep in mind when you're doing these is you're in a small ship, so you have to be fast and nimble to get around. 2, you don't have much of a buffer as you do in the cruiser abyssal sites. So managing your transversal and your speed is absolutely key to this. It also does help you become a better pilot in the abyss, because quite often you are manually piloting your ship around. Sometimes you may just hit orbit on something, but orbit at close range on the battleships, and I just hit keep at range for the smaller stuff. But it's mainly the big stuff that you don't want hitting you, because you don't have the buffer to take many big hits. It is on the expensive side, these ones. So it is roughly around the 740 million-isk area. So they're not exactly cheap. You can cheap out some of these modules if you want. We haven't, because they run so well to get together, fit like this. Now I have put some videos up of these in action on YouTube already. So if you do want to look at those, please feel free to scroll through the Abyss playlist, as you'll find them there. But I will be linking this on to Tier 5 Frigate Abyssals, because that's pretty much what we're running now. If we can't get a Logi pilot to fly with us, I have two people that can fly Logi for us on the Tier 5s, because these reps, they do nearly all of the rooms. Well, there are a couple where it's just too much, and you ain't gonna live, basically. So that is the T4 Nergal. That will do T2s solo. I think you can get away with Tier 3s solo in it. I haven't personally tried it. Tier 4s do that with a couple of you, 2 of you, 3 of you. You're fine. But when we move on to the Tier 5s, which I will do for you now. So as I said, so here is the Tier 5 Nergal. Just need to apply the skin. There we go. So the Tier 5 Nergal, first thing you're probably noticing that's different is, well, doesn't have any ammo in it yet, is the 3 entropic radiation sinks. These do have pretty good rolls on the, apart from that one. That one was just because of fitted and just to increase the damage. But the others are pretty much as high as possible for rate of fire, because you want to ramp up as quick as possible. Now, very similar fit, except we don't have the local rep. We rely on the Logi. So again, the same abyssal cap mods. We have a remote rep to help keep the Logi alive if need be. I put about 1,500 ammo of each in, or well, 2,000 mystic, because I normally end up using more mystic. But as you can see, this is an extremely tight fit. 0.1 CPU, 6 power grid left. That is because these abyssal rolls, as they did get a good rate of fire, they didn't get the best CPU usage. Which you can keep rolling these until you get something absolutely amazing, which I will do in my spare time. But as you can see, these things don't mess about. 300 DPS, nearly 300 DPS before it ramps up, and we have tested these, and they do ramp up to over 900 DPS each, which is pretty insane. So we have 2 of these running, which is a max ramp of over 1800 DPS between us, which is absolutely insane. We do have the Logi, obviously, as I said, and that is to keep us going. That, as long as the Logi orbits one of you, it keeps its transversal up, and both of you keep an eye on the Logi just in case he gets heavily webbed and neutered. So you can also apply some extra reps to him if it needs be, because he does have this armor rep, not that one, that armor rep, another A-type. So everything is pretty expensive on the, apart from the damage control, which probably needs to upgrade. But the Logi is there to keep these alive. These are there, and these absolutely cut through these T5s. No issues. The only thing is you need your Logi pilot to be on the ball, because he is the one making sure, he or she is the one making sure that you are able to clear the rooms. We did have one the other night that was a bit close. I think we had about 50 seconds left, but we were messing about in one of the rooms and we just kind of lost track of time. So it was really pretty much our own fault. But we did get 5 battlecruiser spawn, and they are a sponge. They do have a lot of HP. But we ramped up nicely. We got them cleared. And if we weren't messing about in one of the rooms, we wouldn't have had any issues. But we got through absolutely fine. Now, with these, as I said, keeping your transversal up is even more important than in the tier 4s. As you really don't have that much tank. As you can see there, 7,000 EHP, which is not a great deal. So 100% keeping your transversal up. So you're either orbiting something or you're manually piloting your way around the abyss to make sure that you are reducing the maximum input of damage coming in. So these are a little bit more, how can I put this? You have to pay a bit more attention with the tier 5 Nergals, but we made a couple billion in one night. So, doing tier 5s. Obviously that is also loot dependent, which is the older chance, but yeah, it is. These are absolutely amazing, and I tried the solo tier 1 cruisers, and I got bored of it pretty quickly. The money wasn't the best. I was making more money elsewhere, so I thought I'd give the frigate ones a go, and I literally got rid of every single cruiser that I used for Abyss, and I now have spare Nergals. Plus, why not use these ships? They are cool looking, they've got this nice skin that goes with them, and they have insane DPS when they get ramping up on the Overmind, Karen, Lashaks. You can get ramped up pretty nicely on them, so yeah, these are in my opinion, these are absolutely brilliant. I don't know, I wouldn't like to say if they are better than Hawks, because Hawks are a different sort of strategy in total, so you cannot really compare them. If it's just a straight DPS thing, then these are going to beat the Hawks hands down. But for agility and tank, I don't know. I just prefer the 2 Nergals and that Deacon there, which is also cap stable and is cap stable with everything running. So all 3 reps and the local tank to keep itself going, and it has no capacitor issues whatsoever. So I thought I would do a little video just to get these details out. I went into a couple streams and a couple people were asking me in the Abyssal Lurkers chat if I would do a video just explaining how these work, what the fittings are like, and so on and so forth. So I do have the T2 skills for these. I would highly recommend getting the T2 skills to maximise your damage on these, because damage per second in the Abyss is obviously very, very important. The price also drops because these aren't valued as anything special. So I've got the Abyssal Cap Battery and that's been rolled with a Republic Fleet one for a much better cap warfare resistance and a bit better on the old capacity. So that is the Nergals. That is the T4 and the T5 Nergals. If you do have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments, or you can always PM me in game. And that my name is Galaxier. So if you have enjoyed yourself, guys, make sure you let me know. And until then, I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.